Everyone, my name's Corey. You can call me Coco, and welcome to my very first speed build on YouTube. I've wanted to do this for so long, and I just never got around to it. I wasn't really scared of what people would think. I don't know. I was never really that good at building until recently when I just kind of dove into the world of, simmers on YouTube, and now that's literally all I watch. So before I get into more about myself, as you can see on your screen, the speed build is going. So I'll get into a little bit about the build. So I'm calling this Granny's House, and we're in Brindleton Bay. I'm not sure the lot size, but that's okay. The family I imagine for this, like I said, it's Granny's house. So I imagine it being a grandmother whose husband, I don't know, probably has died, sadly passed away. And now she's living alone. But her daughter and her daughter's two kids come and live with her after their dad leaves them for some hussy. And she wasn't single. She was a stay-at-home mom, so she didn't have any money, so they couldn't go out and, get an apartment or somewhere, so they came and lived, and now they're living with their mom. So right now I'm just doing the exterior. As you can see, I tried to use those blinds as shutters, and it just was not working, so I finally settled on these windows that I'm putting up now. I think they're just base game windows, but literally this is being sped up so fast because it took me so long to do the exterior. I love doing exteriors, we'll do the landscaping here in a second, and that's probably my favorite part to do, but the exterior of the house itself and the windows and all of that, I absolutely hate it. It's literally the worst. I hate doing roofs. What you're seeing right now is sped up, but it probably took me 30 minutes just to figure out what I wanted to do with that little awning piece right there. Literally hate doing a roof. If I don't have a reference photo, I can't do the roof, period. Normally I just stick to modern roofs with half walls and all of that. So now we're going to get into this crazy landscaping. If I can find the picture again, we'll put it up on the screen. I'm using a reference photo from Pinterest, and it was very lush. It had these are hydrangeas, I think. Yes. And there was literally so many of them. But I got there in the end. So while this is still going, I'll just tell you a little bit about me, I guess. I'm 25 years old, living in Houston, Texas, not from Houston, Texas. I'm originally from Louisiana. So real quick, I'll explain why I use the forest grass. In the reference photo, the grass was very dark and it was very green, and that was the only grass that matched what it looked like. Right now I'm just getting all of the plants out of the house, and then I pulled these vine looking things out of the debug menu. Real quick, I just want to boycott the debug menu. It's really, really great for free building items and for clutter items, but it is the absolute worst. If we could just copy the items with the little dropper tool, or search them, filter them, something, it would be so much better. I literally avoid the debug menu at all costs. Which I think, nothing against people that use the debug menu, but I don't know. Not everyone knows how to access it, or, stuff like that. But anyway, still just doing this landscaping. The hardest part was the plants that are going up on the roof, they're actually like these bushes that are really tiny. And I sized them up to kind of make them look like some sort of rose or just some sort of other flower that's grown, what? That's grown from the vines up to on the roof. And I had to cover up the stems that are supposed to go into the ground up with the vines. And now I'm just, what else am I doing? Now I'm doing the soil under the landscaping, which really like brings it to life. Like, it does not look okay until you do that. This is a little path from the gate to the front door. The plants that are in the fence, I just wanted that to look very overgrown. Now you'll see the house layout kind of changed a little bit because I hated the bump out that was in the back. And I also went ahead and did the floor plan off camera so that the video wouldn't be so long. Like, y'all, before I sped up the footage, it was literally so long. And even after most of it was sped up, it was like 38 minutes. And I was like, I don't want my first speed build to be 38 minutes long. No one's going to stay to watch it. So I sped up the more tedious parts where I kind of like would take a pause and change the song on my playlist or something or whatever. And now I'm doing the living room, and as you can see, I'm going for this like light blue and light wood color scheme. The colors that I was using were light blue, or just not really light blue, but blue in general, and yellow and white, and blue, yellow, white, and brown. The living room, I literally spent so long in there because I could not figure out how I want it to be laid out. I could not figure out what wallpaper to use. Like, it took so long. That's why this is sped up at like 16 times, and it's still almost going so slow because I literally had to just sit there and like, what do I want to do with this room? But like, I knew I wanted to use that chair somewhere. It doesn't end up there. I went through so many different scenarios. See, there's a pause. I just was either changing music or just looking there. So it ended up in that corner, which I like. And then but I still wanted like a chair in the living room. And then I couldn't get that one to really go anywhere. So now that was me leaving the living room because I was just getting like pissed off. And I move on to this like entryway. I just put a little table there with some storage. I put two of those around the place, and then I just kind of furnished this just a tad bit before I finally like get back to the living room. Put a mirror there. What else do I do? That was another pause. Don't ask me. But here we go. I'm back to the living room. The reason I pulled out that tiny living kind of TV unit is because I've seen, I think you pronounce it Simlicy. She uses that a lot in her builds, and I really like how it ends up, but it just didn't work for Granny's house. So then I finally came up with this orientation for the couches, and it's by far the best thing I could have done. And then that chair does end up right there, but it gets finagled around a little bit with a plant and a, what is it called? A lamp. Ooh, excuse me, I burped. It's fine. I definitely wanted end tables. Didn't know what paintings to put in this house, period. Like, I ended up just going for any painting that looked brown. And then with it being Grandma's house, I figured she would have a lot of those paintings that were like several pictures in one, like this, several pictures in one on one part of the wall. So that's where that comes in. And now I'm just still putting up some wall decorations in the living room. And then I move on to the clutter in the living room. What's the big thing with me in building? I don't know how to furnish one room first and then move on. A lot of the YouTubers I watch, they literally will do a room, finish it, move on to the next. But I literally can't do that. I jump around so much, and it took everything in me not to do that with this. And I think I did okay. There's still some moments where I will, jump off somewhere else because I find an item and then I'm like, oh, it'll look good over here. And so I go put it there, because I guarantee you, if I don't put it there, then when I go to look for it, I won't be able to find it, because the catalog is so crazy. And I can't even imagine what it's like for those of you that have all the packs. I have all the expansion packs, like 4 game packs and only like 3 stuff packs. So those of you that have all of the packs, like, God bless you when it comes to finding the items that you want, or like the ones that you love and want to use all the time. But as you can see, I'm cluttering up the living room. I love that magazine holder right there. I love putting that little basket next to the end table, in between the end table and the TV. I absolutely love that. I put the toy box because I figured this was, the family hangs out in here a lot. So the kids would have, some toys in the living room. I just put those books right there as if one of them was doing paperwork, or not paperwork, but homework, and they left it there. They were studying, or maybe the mom is a young mom and she goes back to school so that she can provide for her kids and eventually, get a job and move out and all of that. I don't really have a backstory for the mom, other than she, she was a stay-at-home mom and she wasn't doing anything. She was, really like dependent on her husband, who left her for whoever. And so now she's just trying to, make it out here in these streets. So now I'm just cluttering up the hallway. That right there, I figured that could be like where they keep blankets, because like when I was growing up, my grandmother and mom and aunts, like they would all have these ottomans that kind of like opened up in the middle, and it was like a storage, and they would keep their blankets there. But instead of putting an ottoman, I put that little chest because I thought that was cute. I put these backpacks at the front door because I figured the kids would drop them there when they got home from school, so I thought that was cute. I figured I imagined the kids being a boy and a girl, and so that explains the color of the backpacks, and that's why I put the sport equipment right there, because I figured the boy would enjoy that. Now I'm moving on to the kitchen. Okay, this is a humongous kitchen, but I absolutely love it. I think it's so cute. Okay, right here in the corner, I really wanted to put that because it seemed like the really like perfect little nook, but then I would have wanted windows to surround it, and that just wasn't gonna work. That opening goes to the laundry room, which we'll see in a second. But I absolutely love this kitchen. These counters are from Parenthood. The Parenthood pack is perfect for anything family related. I mean, obviously it's called Parenthood, but like more specifically granny themed stuff, like the Parenthood pack is like A1. It's there. Like Parenthood is probably the best game pack in my opinion. A lot of people probably say that, but it really is. I think that tile that I just put kind of ties it in nicely, and then I didn't want it over the door, so I tried to find one that match the color of the top of the tile, and finally found it. The most tedious thing is cluttering up the kitchen, but it's probably my favorite part of a house to clutter because I feel like it's the most clutter objects we have in the game. Like, kitchen clutter objects is the most clutter we have. I in my opinion, like the rest of the clutter, like a remote for the living room and just small stuff like that, you have to like go and debug. But like, I feel like kitchen clutter is like very like abundant in the catalog, and I absolutely love it. Right now, so I put a bunch of cookbooks everywhere because I assumed the grandmother would be really into cooking, really into baking, hence the big kitchen. I hate placing stuff on top of microwaves because it's so hard. I wish it would clip to the top. But I'm sorry if you're getting a headache or getting nauseated from how fast this is going, but I promise you, if it was not this would have been an hour-long video, even sped up. But now I'm moving on to the dining room. I understand it's a giant dining room, and that's okay. I really had nothing else to do with this space. Don't worry, I don't stick with that pink. As you can see, I changed it to the yellow, which the yellow ended up being what went in the living room as well. It took me a while to get to that decision. I love rugs under dining room tables, Deligracy and Little Simsy. Literally everyone I watch does that. It's just realistically, I don't almost think you would have one because food would get all over the rug and it would be dirty and hard to clean because there's this giant dining room table on this. As I'm recording this speed build, I have not play tested it yet, but I will. And so once I upload it to the gallery, if you see anything that's changed or different, it's because it was not functional. But I will make sure everything is before I upload it. So I don't remember what I was going to say, but I just wanted to quickly say I watched this YouTuber named Devin Bumpkin. His real name is Aiden, and I think he lives in England. Pretty sure he does. And I just want to say real quick that like he's probably my absolute favorite Sims YouTuber. There was a reason why I was going to bring him up because of something I did or was thinking about or something, but I don't remember what that was. So I just wanted to say how fantastic I think he is, and he's so funny and hilarious, and you should go give him a cheeky follow. Ha! LOL. I hope he sees that because I find myself talking like him a lot in my head, so I just had to try it out loud. Okay, so back to the build. You just saw me finish the laundry room. It wasn't a thing special, but yeah, now I'm moving on to the grandmother's room. I really love the swatch on this bed. Y'all will have to excuse me because I'm still learning what comes in what pack. Like, I can't tell you where that bed came from without looking at it. It may have come from Cats and Dogs. I'm so surprised I called it Cats and Dogs because I literally call it Pets all the time, and I probably will in this speed build and in future ones. But yes, so I really like the wallpaper I use in the grandmother's room too. I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's going crazy. Okay, this is an office space. I imagine this being where the grandfather would work out of if he was working from home. I don't know what the grandfather did, but you could come up with that, or have your own sim in here and come up with whatever storyline you want. But as far as this grandfather goes, I don't know what he did. Haven't really thought too much into his backstory because he is going to be passed away in my mind. Just a small disclaimer, I don't do the bathrooms on camera at all. There will be one in the screenshots, it's the granny's bathroom, but there are 3 bathrooms on this lot, and they're all en suites. We love it. Right now I'm doing the little girl's room. It ends up being this like purple, pink, and blue color scheme. I think it comes out really cute. I challenged myself to use that rug, and I don't know if it works in this case. You let me know if it does down in the comments. I thought it was cute. It fit the color scheme. And then I loved that bed. I don't remember where that bed came from, but I really love the color scheme. Now I'm just trying to find the perfect color. I gave him that navy blue accent wall. I figured the boy would be really into sports, and he probably wants to be an Olympic athlete when he grows up. Obviously there's no Olympics in The Sims, but if there were, I feel like he would definitely hop on that train. And I figured the little girl could really love animals, and she would want to be a vet when she grew up. Now I move on to the mom's room. I kind of left this room kind of as if the grandmother had it already furnished and the mom didn't really care to change it up. She figured, I don't want to get too comfortable because I'm trying to get out of here. I love my mom and I'm grateful that she is letting us stay here, but I don't want to, get too comfortable. So I just clutter this up a little bit. It's not much. I gave her a closet because I feel like she would be a young mom and probably have a lot of clothes. So that's why I gave her a closet and a dresser. Now that I think about it, I don't think I put a dresser of any sort in the kids' room, but that's totally fine. So, sorry, I was looking at something. So, as you can see, it has switched over, and now the little hallway upstairs is finished and all the bathrooms are finished. And I did that off camera because it was boring and didn't need to be seen. But now I'm doing the backyard, and let's just say I did not know what to do with the backyard. It was the worst part of the entire build, which is why it's going so fast. I feel like it doesn't look awful. It's just really big and there's nothing back there. I do really like how that looks, how putting the flowers on top of the little covering. I really love how that looks. And then in front of these hydrangeas in the corner, I put some planter boxes because I figured the grandmother would like to garden as well. And that's one thing I could have put back here, the little gardening, the little flower arranging station. So then I put a fire pit, yes, and that's really it. Then I just kind of detail it with some landscaping. As all of you know that play Sims, or not play it, but watch Sims YouTubers, whenever you do landscaping, really outlining it with a dirt or some dead grass, that really makes it sit into the lot and it just looks a whole lot better. Now I'm just going around and putting some curtains and blinds in the house because I had forgotten. There's the mailbox, and now I'm just putting some lights around the house because they didn't have any outside lighting, just some more wild grass in the back, a few more details. Then I just made it night so that I could see the lighting, and that's pretty much it. And the screenshot should be rolling soon or now, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.